It's another day and I'm headed up the mountain. I'm gonna stop on the way and do something. There is an underpass right before you get to the gap on this mountain, and it doesn't look tall. Like, I was behind a Mack truck yesterday and the top of the truck almost hit the bottom of the bridge. We've got a crane coming Monday and he told me he needs 13.6 clear. So I'm gonna stop and measure this thing just to be sure. Well, I think it's gonna work. I measured up to my eyeballs and then I measured down from the bridge to my eyeballs and added it up, and it looks like it's about 14 feet. The crane is 13.6. So I'm gonna call the guy and see if he's okay with that. So Arlo, looks like you were the cut man yesterday, huh?
Absolutely. Here. We got that right there.
Man glitter.
And then we got right here.
All the snow that Eric shoveled off the main level went down the hole into the basement. Well, now it's all on the way still, and it's been like a week. So Arlo's being the snow shoveler guy. Man, you could make like a snowman out of that much snow. Oh yeah, I gotta find a plan. We can't just make this stuff up.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. So our first step is to snap the lines, chalk lines. Chalk it up. Jono likes Tajima brand chalk box. You see that? Lives a nice little thin line, and he's got the Star Wars edition, black and white. Okay, let's talk about the general layout of this upstairs. We have master bedroom, postcard view, second bedroom, postcard view, third bedroom, postcard view, bathroom, walk-in closet, and then this is the rest of the master suite. Bathroom, walk-in closet, and the laundry is actually in this walk-in closet because it's huge, and that's what they wanted, so that's what we're doing. Try to shake your head no and say yes.
Yes.
No. No. You can't even do it. Try again. It's hard.
Gosh. Yes.
There you go. You got it. Another thing going on today, Jamie's got a bunch of 2x12s on his truck there. You can see yellow pine. That's going to be the beginnings of this monster stairwell. They're going to jump down in, and we're going to start at the bottom, which you can't even see the bottom because it's dark, way down there, and just work on up till we're at the top. I'm laying out a door here. What I do is find the center point of the door, then I measure out to both sides, and in this case I'm leaving 2 inches extra wider than the door slab, so it's a 30-inch door slab, making the opening on the framing 32 inches wide. So just remember, 2 inches extra on a door slab when you're doing the rough opening. These interior walls are easier to build because there's no sheathing, no blocking, they're quick, and then we can actually build them wherever we want, wherever we have room in the floor, and then we just pick them up and slide them into position, put a brace on them, and we're done. We are also finally going to cut some of these control joints in the slab in the basement. We have just forgot to bring the saw every single day that can cut them, so Jamie remembered it, so we're going to do it today. A lot of concrete guys would cut this cut we're doing now while the slab was still green, meaning immediately after it was finished. But that takes a special saw, and we don't have that saw. Also, we're putting a board down here to use as a guide because we can't chalk a line right now. The floor is wet from all the ice and snow. So I'm just going to use this 2x6, and I'm going to score down the edge of it to get a good line. Then I'll remove the board and make my cut. It's covered in mud.
Just spray it off.
Oh yeah, there we go. Hey, there's my boo. pro tip of the day here. I've nailed these two end members into this wall. You can see I did not offset my nails very much, and it started to split the plate. So it's a great idea to sort of offset your nails if you're nailing a bunch of stuff. At the end of a plate, I'm gonna nail this cripple in. I'm gonna do just that. I'm going to offset enough where I don't make this crack even bigger and continue it on out.
Your turn, Ray. Good luck.
All right.
Nice knowing you.
Oh, that was more than a drop.
Dude, you're dead.
Dude, why do they say more than one drop, but it doesn't have like a dropper top? You know what I mean?
That's a good joke. That looks good. My kids have those. It's called a Lunchable.
There.
You're making your own Lunchables is what you're doing.
Absolutely.
9 short, 35, partition, 81 jack, 93 stud, corner, flipping nails, water.
Coffee.
Yeah, that's my coffee, man.
Pro tip of the day coming at you.
Wait, isn't everything you say a pro tip?
Yeah, I guess so. Okay, I'm nailing in these cripples and I'm using my nail gun, 3-inch nails. And the pro tip is just where not to hold this cripple. Don't hold the cripple here, because if you fire a nail in and it hooks out the side, boom, it's gonna be in your hand. So always hold your hand back at least as far as the nail, like a good 6 inches, like that. It hurts shooting yourself. I've done it. Let's grab a few more studs, I guess.
This is it.
This is it?
That's all we have.
Huh. I thought I ordered way too many.
Are there more walls?
Yeah, like 3 or 4 more walls. Arlo's working on our stairs. First thing he did was make a story stick or a story pole that has lines on it that indicate the finished top height of every single tread. And then we just subtract our finished material off of that to know what to cut each stringer. This is gonna be a U-shaped stairwell coming up from the basement to the first floor, from the first floor to the second floor, and each set of stairs will have a landing in the middle. The landing actually acts as one of the treads, basically, and they've done math to figure out how many risers are needed to be within a code passing amount of step each step up. And we always figure that from the finished material, which isn't installed yet. It will be installed, but we need to know what it is so that the top step and the bottom step of each stair run are the same as the rest of the steps. That's why. Yeah, I do. Came down to the basement here. They've got the first section of stairs assembled and pressure treated bottom plate and this board to space it off the wall, because why? Because your drywall guy will hate you if you don't. Yeah, that's right. That's because he'll have to cut around all your steps if you put this tight to the wall. Yeah, that's a no-go. So this leaves enough room for your drywall and a skirt board to slide in behind there. So nice. It is so nice. You know, we didn't used to do that. Like my house? Yeah. It's not done that way, and the drywall is like cut around every, even the nosings, they cut the drywall.
And then if you put a skirt board in, it's of course, yeah. You got
so bad. Yeah. That's why I never put one in. Yeah. Here's a look at our landing and looking up. Wow. Looking at the sky. That's what you got to get to, is up there. It's no big deal. You got it. We'll be up there this evening. Oh yeah. All right, Brojangles, here's one thing we're gonna do to all of the windows. Do a pan flashing with this wonderful, wide, stretchy zip tape. And Jono's gonna show us how.
Yes, sir. Up here. I'm making a video, bro. Leave me alone.
Stretch. This stuff is probably 2 or 3 times thicker than the regular zip tape, and it's sticky and stretchy. I'm telling you guys, that is so easy. That's so easy. Yeah. We've used a lot of different kinds of flashing tape for this, and that is by far the easiest one we've ever used. Well, we made it another day on the mountain. We got most of the interior walls built upstairs, then we ran out of studs. We got the stairs framed from the first floor down to the basement, and we got the place cleaned up. It's been a good day. Thanks for building with us today. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for building with us.
I thought we were done. Who didn't unload the boards? Oh my gosh. See you, Ray.
See ya.